Hello everyone, and welcome to my YNR Official 24 channel. Victor Newman and Jack Abbott circle each other like wounded Napoleons, each pretending to negotiate in good faith while stropping their claws, and at the center of this fragile armistice stands Matt, an unpredictable wild card whose fidelity has always been questionable and whose mouth proves far more dangerous than any contract clause, as the deal is meant to secure control of a crucial attachment that could cock the balance of power in Genoa City for times to come, with Victor demanding ironclad guarantees and Jack averring on translucency and participated authority, both men believing they can outthink the other, but neither anticipating that Matt will arsonist the entire room with just 3 rulings, because as the attorneys shuffle papers and the directors exchange rehearsed grins, Matt leans back with a boo that incontinently puts Victor on edge and Jack on silent alert, and also Matt says the first thing, the bone. That lands like a poke before the punch indeed comes, when he casually reveals that the deal was no way about cooperation at each, but about influence, admitting, nearly boasting, that he has been feeding information to both sides, playing Newman against Abbott to secure his own impunity and unborn stake, inferring that Victor's conglomerate and Jack's heritage have both been log-rolling chips in Matt's particular survival plan. And Victor's jaw tightens because treason is the one currency he no way tolerates, while Jack's eyes darken with the consummation that the trust he extended, still cautiously, has been weaponized against him, and the room grows colder as the first crack appears in the foundation of the deal. Yet it's the alternate thing Matt says that truly twists the cutter, because with calculated atrocity, he turns directly to Jack and announces that Victor no way intended to recognize the agreement anyway, claiming that Victor authorized a contingency plan to draw Jabot from the inside the moment the essay dried, citing shadow accounts, shell companies, and a timeline that suggests this cooperation was nothing further than a slow, stir ambush, and although Victor does incontinently deny it, because denial is a weakness he refuses to show, the recrimination is enough to make Jack feel played, used, and intimately lowered, as recollections of once backstabbings launch back, reminding him of every time he trusted Victor and paid the price, and the failure of the deal becomes ineluctable in that moment because trust evaporates in the space between breaths. But indeed, also the violence might have been avoided if Matt had stopped there, if he'd allowed the damage to remain purely strategic and emotional. Yet Matt goes for the third and utmost insupportable blow, the bone. That transforms rage into action, when he lowers his voice and says that this entire concession was set in stir by a secret from Victor's history that could destroy his family, insinuating that Victor's authority, his moral high ground, and indeed his part as primogenitor are erected on a taradiddle, and also, with cruel perfection, Matt suggests that Jack formerly knows the verity and has been sitting on it, staying for the perfect moment to use it, effectively criminating Jack of exploiting Victor's deepest vulnerability while also exposing that vulnerability to the room, and in that twinkle Victor sees not just Jack across the table but every adversary who has ever tried to uncrown him, every tale that has ever hovered his heritage, every fear that his children might one day look at him and see not a Goliath but a fraud, and the combination of treason, demotion, and the suggestion that Jack has been complicit is too important because Victor Newman doesn't negotiate under trouble, and he doesn't tolerate imputations about his family, and so the punch comes presto and hard, a raw, undressed explosion of fury as Victor lunges across the table and slams his fist into Jack's jaw, transferring papers flying and chairpersons scraping back as stupefied bystanders rustle, and for a split alternate time freezes, because no bone ever truly expects Victor to cross that line in public. Yet there it is, the deal shattered not by autographs or clauses but by blood and pride, as Jack staggers back, shocked not just by the pain but by the symbolism of it, because that punch is Victor's answer to everything Matt said, a protestation that the concession is dead and the war is back on, and chaos erupts as security rushes in, and voices roar. But the damage is formally done, because the punch echoes far beyond the room, splashing through Genoa City as alliances fracture and rumors enkindle, with Jack realizing that whatever secret Matt indicated to is now a ticking lemon that Victor will stop at nothing to neutralize, and Victor understanding that he has been maneuvered into a corner where strength is his only remaining language, while Matt watches with nipping satisfaction, knowing he has fulfilled exactly what he set out to do by turning two legends against each other in the most visceral way possible. And as the dust settles and the failed deal becomes the talk of the city, the consequences begin to unfold in every direction, with Jack covenanting vengeance, not just for the punch, but for the times of manipulation it represents, Victor conniving retaliation against Matt for daring to weaponize his history, and the entire business geography of Genoa City shifting overnight as the fragile vision of peace between Newman and Abbott collapses into open warfare formally again, proving that, in The Young and the Restless, no deal is ever just a deal, no secret stays buried ever, and occasionally all it takes is three precisely chosen rulings to turn concession into violence and change the course of everyone's fate. Victor is in a spot because Newman is under attack. So Victor tells the Abbotts to leave with Matt. Victor Newman will find out that Newman Enterprises is in trouble. So he will tell the Abbotts to leave with Matt Clark. At the GCAC, Billy Abbott and Sally Spectra will run into Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers. Billy Abbott will say something to make Phyllis Summers mad. They will get into a fight. After that, Sally Spectra will tell Billy Abbott that he was wrong. Then Billy Abbott will tell Sally Spectra something in private. He will say that he heard Phyllis Summers and Kane Ashby talking about attacking Newman Enterprises. Sally is going to worry that Billy thinks Billy should be the one to take down Victor. Billy will say that Billy does not care who does it as long as Victor gets taken down. When Phyllis goes to Crimson Lights with Kane, Phyllis will bother Kane about when Kane's going to do what they planned. Kane will tell Phyllis that Kane has already taken care of it. This will make Phyllis very happy about their victory, and Phyllis will kiss Kane. That will lead to Phyllis and Kane going to his train, where they will sleep together as they celebrate the intelligence program going after Newman Enterprises. Phyllis will ask when they're going to take over Newman Enterprises, so Kane will tell her the details will come later and say she is going to get what she really wants from Newman Enterprises. At the Newman Ranch on Monday's episode of The Young and the Restless, Victor will get a text message that will make him look uneasy about Newman Enterprises. Jack Abbott and Kyle Abbott are waiting to hear about the offer they made to Matt. Then Victor gets up and rushes out of the room to take care of something. Jack Abbott is confused. Wonders what could be more important than dealing with Matt right now. He goes to Nikki Newman, asks her to talk to Victor about their deal for the AI program. Nikki Newman asks Jack Abbott if he really plans to let Matt go and put her family in danger. Jack Abbott says he will do it and that it will be Victor's fault if anything bad happens to Nikki Newman's loved ones. At one point, Kyle will have the Abbott security team take Matt out to the car because Matt will be really loud and annoying. Victor will come back, say that the Abbotts will get an answer when Victor is ready to give it to them. The Abbotts will not wait long, so Jack will tell Victor that he wants an answer by morning. Then Jack will leave with Kyle when Victor tells them to get out. After they leave, Victor will call someone from the Newman security team, ask them to follow the Abbotts' car. Victor does not want Matt out of his security team sight. At the Abbott mansion, Jack and Kyle will figure out that something big must have really upset Victor for him to delay dealing with Matt. Matt will be in a place with guards keeping an eye on him. When Jack and Kyle think this is about Newman Enterprises, Billy will call them with updates on what he heard at the club. After Billy spills about Kane and Phyllis targeting Newman, Sally will listen as he wishes he were the one going after Victor instead. Back at the ranch, Victoria Newman will arrive after being summoned for a family meeting. Victor will tell Victoria, Nikki, and Adam Newman that the AI program has turned on its host, so Newman is being gutted as they speak. Kyle Abbott gets completely into the mess, coming up with a plan that could change everything in Genoa City. He creates a trap that's very precise, and it affects Matt Clark and gives Jack Abbott some power that Victor Newman did not expect. This all starts when Kyle figures out that Victor's latest moves are not about business, but a threat to the Abbotts and everything they've built, love, and care about, including Jack Abbott himself. Kyle Abbott knows that Victor Newman is trying to hurt the people Kyle Abbott loves. So Kyle Abbott decides to act and make a move that will change the balance of power in Genoa City, and Kyle Abbott is the one who's in charge of this plan. Kyle Abbott is trying to protect the Abbotts, and Kyle Abbott is doing this by outsmarting Victor Newman. Victor is getting a hold on things through companies that do not have his name on them by being quiet and scary, and by releasing information at the right time. Kyle sees something that looks familiar. Victor always does much when he thinks nobody can touch him. Kyle thinks he can use this to his advantage by going after the one person who knows much and has too much to lose, Matt Clark. Victor always seems to think he is above the law when he's doing these things, so Kyle is going to use that against him. He's going to start with Matt Clark. Matt, who spent a time studying the surroundings, is found to be a very important person in Victor's latest plan. He is the one who keeps all the documents, recordings, and financial records that could get Newman Enterprises into trouble with the law and hurt their reputation. Matt has never been loyal because he believes in something. It is always because he gets something in return. Kyle knows that about Matt well. Kyle uses his charm, acts like he is being really open with Matt, which makes Matt feel safe around him. Kyle is actually very smart and cunning. He is doing all of this on purpose. He makes Matt think that he can help him, that he can give him a way out of his problems. Kyle says he can introduce Matt to people, keep him safe near the coast, and give him a fresh start. At the same time, Kyle is secretly watching Matt and making sure he does not get too close to Victor. Kyle is planting evidence and creating situations that make Matt compete with others, which leaves Matt all alone and without Victor's protection. Kyle is doing all of this to trap Matt, and Matt does not even realize what Kyle is doing to him. The pressure on Matt gets really bad when he figures out that Kyle Abbott has been one step ahead of him the time. Everything Matt has done, Kyle Abbott has seen it coming. Every phone call Matt made, Kyle Abbott knows about it. Every secret Matt had, Kyle Abbott has a copy of it. Then it hits Matt. Kyle Abbott is not just acting on feelings like people thought. He is actually really smart, can plan things out. Kyle Abbott is so good that he can keep up with Victor Newman, which is really saying something. Matt realizes that Kyle Abbott has become a master strategist, and this is bad news for Matt. Kyle Abbott can match Victor Newman move for move. That makes him a very tough person to deal with. Meanwhile, Jack thinks that the situation with Matt Clark is different this time. He sees it in the way Kyle looks at him. He hears it in the way Kyle talks to him. The tone of Kyle's voice is calm and careful. Jack can feel that something is not right. Then Kyle tells him that he has Matt Clark right where he wants him. Matt Clark is not being held against his will in a way. He is trapped because of the choices he has made. He is in a lot of trouble. Could get in even more trouble if he does not do what Kyle wants. Matt Clark is facing the fact that his secrets might be exposed. He could lose everything, be completely ruined if he does not cooperate with Kyle. Jack is stuck between feeling proud and being scared. The reason is that this influence could stop Victor's attacks, but it will hurt Kyle's innocence. Jack knows that when you start playing Victor's game, it is very hard to get out of it without getting hurt. Jack thinks about Victor's game and how it can affect Kyle. He does not want Kyle to lose his innocence because of Victor's game. Jack is worried that if Kyle gets involved with Victor's game, he will not be the person anymore. The story gets really sad when we see what happened to Kyle in the past. We find out that Kyle is struggling with himself because of things that went wrong before. People did things to him, and he is wondering if he is doing the right thing. The Abbotts always say they are against things, but Kyle is not so sure. Every time Kyle starts to doubt himself, he thinks about Victor and how mean he can be. Victor does not show kindness often, which makes Kyle think that maybe he should not be kind either. The Newmans are not known for being nice to people. This makes Kyle question what he's doing. Kyle is really struggling with what to do because of Victor and the way the Newmans act. The trap gets really bad when Kyle sets up a meeting with Matt to finish the deal. Then Jack shows up with documents and stays really calm while he explains what is going on. This is when Matt loses it and says that Victor is involved in some things like doing illegal stuff and manipulating people. Matt also says that Victor has a plan to hurt Jabot from the inside. The trap reaches its point when Matt says all of this about Victor and his plan to mess with Jabot. The power dynamic changes really fast now because for the time in a long time Victor Newman is not the one in charge but the one being targeted. Victor Newman is ignorant of the fact that the walls are closing in around Victor Newman. This is happening because Jack now has evidence that could lead to investigations, lawsuits, and public criticism of Victor Newman on a scale. The thing that makes the twist so great is that it does not go far. Jack does not rush to tell everyone about Victor. He knows that having power is not about causing trouble, but about being in control. Kyle thinks the way, and he is getting better at this. He thinks they should let Victor feel like he is in a spot, but only a little bit at a time. This will make Victor back down given and make choices that show how far he will go to protect his company, the conglomerate. When Victor finally figures out that something is not right, his fight with Kyle gets really heated. He tells Kyle that there will be consequences and that he should think about what will happen if he keeps going against him. Victor also reminds Kyle about his family and the past. Kyle does not back down. Instead, he calmly tells Victor a truth. This is a truth that Victor himself taught Kyle. Now Kyle is just trying to come out on top. Victor taught Kyle how to play this game. Now Kyle is playing to win. The people in Genoa City are feeling the effects of what's happening. Alliances are. Secrets are coming out again. People like Diane, Summer, and Adam are feeling the shock of this balance of power. Each of them is wondering how long they can keep this advantage before everything falls apart. There is a big fight. The city is waiting to see what will happen next with Diane, Summer, and Adam as they try to figure out their places in this power balance in Genoa City. Matt Clark is in a spot. He has to decide if he should work completely with the Abbotts or take a chance and face Victor's anger. If Victor finds out what Matt Clark has really done, he will be very angry. It will not go away. This choice is scary for Matt Clark. It makes the situation feel very real and serious. The fact that Matt Clark's decision is so important and has consequences makes the drama feel sad and hopeless. Matt Clark's situation is a deal, and it is hard for him to know what to do. The thing that really matters is what is going on between Jack and Kyle. They are a father and son who love each other. They have different ways of doing things. This is because they have to deal with a world that is controlled by Victor Newman. When Jack and Kyle talk to each other, at night you can see that their situation is very difficult. It is hurting their relationship, making it hard for them to trust each other. They are not always sure what is right and wrong. Jack and Kyle are always worried that they will make a mistake and lose everything that Jack and Kyle are trying to protect. As the plot moves forward fast, people who are watching are left feeling like they cannot catch their breath. They are wondering if this big influence will make Victor change his ways, or if it will just make him more angry and cause him to do something worse. This is because we know that Victor Newman does not stay down for a time. He always comes back. The people are thinking about what will happen to Victor because of this influence. Will it make him a better person or a worse person? The answer is not clear. One thing is, for sure Victor Newman will not give up easily. The thing that makes the plot so great is how tricky it is. Kyle's plan is a success and also a warning. It shows that Kyle has learned and grown, and it is a sign that a new time has started in Genoa City. In this time, the younger people are not just going to do what Victor wants. The younger people in Genoa City are ready to make their moves and control their own lives. The younger generation is ready to shape the board themselves, not follow Victor's moves. Kyle's trap is a deal, and it is a testament to his growth in Genoa City. In the end, OMG. Kyle traps Matt Clark to give Jack the ultimate influence over Victor. Isn't just a shocking caption, but a turning point that redefines power, fidelity, and identity on the young and the restless, proving formally again that in this world, the most dangerous armament isn't plutocrat or influence, it's the amenability to cross a line and live with what comes later. The Abbotts think they are in charge now. The things that happened because of what Kyle did are still affecting everyone. This is happening in ways that nobody expected. It is making the story more complicated. The power that Kyle got is not easy to keep. He needs to work to keep it. Kyle is learning this the way. Getting Matt Clark on his side was the beginning. The real fight with Victor Newman is far from over. The Abbotts and Kyle are not safe yet. Kyle's problems with Victor Newman are still going on. Matt is being watched by Abbott all the time. This is making Matt very nervous. He gets really anxious when nobody answers his calls. He also gets scared when he sees people walking by his window. Matt is like a bomb that's ready to explode. This situation can help Jack. It can hurt him very badly if Matt cannot handle the pressure. Matt is really struggling to stay calm. The situation with Matt and Abbott is very tense. Matt's nerves are getting worse with every minute. Kyle is really into the game now. He has to take care of this thing, which is a big responsibility. Kyle is pushing himself to the limit at his home in Argentina, trying to figure out what is true and what is not. He has to decide what truth to share, what lies to say, and how far he is willing to go to stop Victor from getting the hand. Kyle has to be careful with the game and make sure Victor does not win. Jack sees all of this. It makes him really worried. He notices that his son has the intense behavior that Victor has. Jack is scared that if he saves Jabot, he might lose his son to a life where he is always trying to manipulate